Hello and welcome to episode 210 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
And I'm Jeff Mayo.
And Merry Christmas, Jeff.
Merry Christmas. And Darby, I have breaking news.
Oh, shit.
On Pokemon's Twitch channels, they have Charmander sleeping next to an open fire.
I really thought he was burning. I really thought they were cooking Charmander for a second. I was very concerned.
He's just chilling.
He is just chilling.
He's just taking a nap so Santa will come.
Yeah.
And give him a home.
Oh, I hope Santa gives Charmander everything that he wants.
You know,
even if what he wants is world domination. Servitude of the human race. We will do this for him.
Yeah.
We are recording this on Christmas Eve. Happy holidays to everybody out there. We just, the grind never stops.
True.
We record podcasts even in holidays. We get no holidays off. We get no, I haven't even been paid, so, ever.
True.
For this. So, it's like, I don't know. There's some questionable work policies going on over here at Nerds at Large. But, we do it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
How are you doing this fine Christmas Eve, Jeffrey?
I'm doing good, doing good. You ready for the Christmas?
I am. Yeah.
Ball is ready for Christmas.
Comfy vibes. Bala is ready. She's ready to carry us in our sorry team to victory. But I'm excited to talk about some games with you. Excited to look forward. We're at the end of this year, so we're going to look forward to the year 2022.
2021 awards. We do that in 2022.
That's right. It belongs. We do 2022 and 2021, 2021 and 2022. Obviously.
Yes.
I think I might have said the same thing twice, but you know what? We do. That's what we do here.
Yep.
So we're going to be looking forward to all the games coming out in the first, what we do, first quarter, what are we doing here?
We usually do first half
of 2022, and then we're also gonna have our top 10 most anticipated games of 2022. We do this every year, and famously, Jeff usually whatever he picks here will inevitably not come out in 2022, and will be his number one again next year.
Yeah, so wait to hear what my number one is, and already pencil it in to being delayed.
Yep. Jeff has the power to delay, basically.
Yep. And also, as tradition, I did a top 20.
Of course, Jeff did, because Jeff just...
Too many games, man. Too many games.
Yeah, and it's also a tradition that probably half the games that I'm about to list here, I won't actually buy or play. Some things it's just nice to have traditions.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of a game that you didn't buy, but you did play.
True.
How are you enjoying it, or did enjoy Deathloop? Are you done?
Not done yet.
All right. How are you enjoying Deathloop?
Enjoying it a lot, Darby. It's a fun game. I'm shooting people, doing the loops and all that. Mm-hmm. Though there are some things about this game I was definitely wrong on based on that marketing. And boy, did we see a lot of that marketing.
I did see a lot of marketing.
A lot more linear than I expected. And well, generally speaking, I kind of had more of an idea that I was going to be going into the game based on people talking about the game, because this game's been out for months at this point.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah. So there's the loop. It's less of a roguelike than you would think based on the premise of it and maybe even what they showed. Because you're pretty much going through a day, and they're like 4 sectional parts of the day, morning, noon, afternoon, night. And for each time of the day, you can go to one of the 4 places on Black Reef, and you can spend as much time as you want in that area for that time period. But once you leave, it moves on or whatever. And the whole point of the game is to figure out how you can kill all 8 of the visionaries and break the loop within a single in-game day.
Right.
But the reason why I say it's linear is the game really pushes you to find what the correct way is and all that kind of stuff. Right. Like there is, again, based on the marketing, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention and all that. I figured it'd be a lot more open-ended as far as how you did. I mean, you can kind of be open on how exactly you might kill them. It's kind of, but as far as like when you kill them and everything, it's pretty set in stone. It's like, at least based on what it looks like, you gotta kill this person. Like, there are multiple technically times you can potentially kill this person, but if you don't do it this exact time, then you're not gonna be able to beat the game.
Right. So the game kind of forces you to like you can't run off and do this other thing first. It's like we want you to discover these things in this order, basically.
Yeah, I mean, well, I say that you can kind of do some of the stuff or as far as doing the visionary stuff in order. And so, well, I say that, I don't know. There's a little variance in it, but nothing crazy. It is kind of like it pushes you to do this thing absolutely first, and then it opens up like one or two things, and then that opens up.
It's more of a story that has beats.
Yeah,
in an order or whatever.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Again, little variance, but nothing too crazy.
Okay. So is this a bad thing that it's more like that?
Not
Than you
necessarily.
thought it was going to be?
Oh, not necessarily, but I've saw some people disappointed about that. And I can get it. I'm having fun with it because I didn't really have a bunch of expectations going into it as far as what it is, because I was unsure if I'd want this game anyway. But oh, by the way, review copy provided by Megan and Preston.
Yeah, well, it was given to us by our friends for free.
Yep. But I'm enjoying it. I mean, I think the loop does have a little fun little thing to it, because it does kind of, I think it's a good like storytelling tool for this game, even if it doesn't do the thing that you would expect it to do, like it being a roguelike and all that, especially as it goes on, because part of what you think of with this kind of game is, you gotta collect stuff every day, like brand new shit every day. You're gonna lose your shit. That's kind of more true in the beginning, because after pretty early in the game, you get a way to carry your stuff over between each loop.
Okay, right.
And at first, once you unlock that ability, it takes a little time to build up an arsenal, but once you kind of build up an arsenal, it's like you're set.
Okay.
Like it then becomes very easy that whenever you get something that's good, you're gonna have the residuum, it is called, to carry that over between loops, whether it be a special weapon or the what's it called, whatever, the little totem things that the visionaries have with the abilities.
You start ignoring the upgrades you can get or something because like you're good basically.
It's less that, because you still get cool shit. It's just less, you don't have to really worry about stuff not carrying over.
No, right.
That kind of fear kind of goes away.
Right. Okay. But then, so does the game get too repetitious with you going through these loops over and over again? Because the roguelikes, obviously that has that whole thing, but obviously like you and other people are saying this is not exactly a roguelike, it's more linear like that. Does that get old at all?
No, I mean, and this really depends on the person, but it arguably gets less repetitious because you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Like, I'm killing some of the visionaries multiple times, but I've only at this point have killed technically all 8 of them, just not all in one loop, obviously, so I haven't beaten the game. And some of them multiple times, but they've kind of been in different ways. There's been like only one that so far that I've killed, or 1 or 2 that I've killed pretty much in this similar way, or had to do the same thing. Like, because based on what I was doing, I was killing them in a different way or a different time because I unlocked.
So whenever you killed one visionary or whatever and went back to the start the next loop, would you go kill them again and then go to the next one, or would you just be like, okay, I know that one, I'm going to figure that out later and go to the next? So is there like a first guy that you're killing every single run or something when you do this, or is it?
Well, because of the way it is, I know technically the first one I'm supposed to kill on the true run.
Right.
I just have no reason to really kill them.
So like right now you're like, this is not the true run. This is I'm going to learn things run. So you ignore people and go
the way this is, it makes it very clear when you're supposed to be able to do a true run. I'm honestly not. I really don't think there is a way unless you just guess it's impossible to do this like in the first couple loops. You gotta go for it.
It's not one of those like run straight to Ganon do something.
You can't do that. Maybe you can if you get really lucky, like as a first blind playthrough, but I don't see how you could.
Right, because
some of the stuff, it revolves heavily on meeting the person and like, okay, well, I need to do this to get them out of hiding or to them to go to this place or whatever, so I need to start the loop over, go to this place in the afternoon or morning or whatever, and do this thing before this happens.
Okay.
Because you know what's going to happen.
So was uncovering all of that satisfying, even if it wasn't necessarily you unraveling this puzzle. So it's less of like you unraveling this puzzle and more of the story's unfolding.
Yeah. It's kind of like a single player, like decently linear game with the roguelike,
more like a BioShock or like
packaging
or
to
like,
it.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm having fun with it. And
what about the story and like Colt and Juliana and stuff?
Colt and Juliana are fun. The most you get usually when I'm talking, like whenever you start I guess a time during the day, whatever, go to an area when Colt's clicking in the code to get out of his shelter, Juliana usually pops in and be like, yo, what up? I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
Or drops a little tidbits or whatever. Cause, like one thing I saw last, and something I like is so far me playing this game, they have the banana repeating thing, and they give you a little more lore, a little character stuff. Like Juliana dropped one. Well, it's nice. Like, oh, sometimes I kill some of the visionaries for fun.
Just gets bored.
Yeah, because as far as the story goes, only Juliana and Colt retain their memories. No one else does.
Right.
So I was kind of curious that going in. It's like, okay, how are they gonna do that? Or am I just gonna hear constantly like, you killed me yesterday, now blah blah blah? But no, they don't remember a thing.
Right. Okay.
They think it's the first day on this island every day.
Even though they do know they're in a loop, but they just
they know
just
it's like a loop where they can stay forever young, but they think it's the first day.
Right. Gotcha.
Interesting. Some of the visionaries kind of know what's going on. One of the scientists in particular is trying to figure out how to make sure she can remember going forward. And just kind of, and with these with her in general, you like read these notes or listen to tapes or whatever, and she's talking to someone. It's like, we probably have had this conversation like 50 times already. We probably say the same thing every day, figure out the same thing we have this breakthrough every day, and obviously it hasn't worked.
How do you like the Juliana mechanic?
I like it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not doing the people coming in to invade me thing, because I'm going to be honest. I'm bad with these things. So if that happens, that'd be more annoying.
Did you never do it?
I did at the beginning, but I turned it off because
that's fair. That's fair. I would want it on, but I'm not even good at this. I just know it sounds fun. But I do think it's something you need to experience once. If you never did it, I would have been like, get in there and do it once.
Yeah. I guess there wouldn't be a big problem now, because the problem is, or the problem again, because I'm bad, and if it was a human player, odds are I would get demolished. Especially if they had tools. Well, and especially at the beginning, it would just be irritating when it is harder to retain things.
Yeah, it's something you'd want to be in the mood for.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, this definitely makes the things harder.
But as I'm going on, the computer Juliana is popping in more. Being like, okay, you're getting closer, so I'm gonna have to mess you up a little bit. The computer Juliana is not too difficult, because
the only other thing I wanted to ask is that the only people I listened to in-depth things about this game was Easy Allies, and they were talking about how the AI was pretty terrible.
Oh no, it's not great. Yeah. Apparently, it improved since at least Ben played it. I think I heard seen some people in patches. The AI is very exploitable. The Juliana AI is also is not great. It's technically she's the hardest person to technically kill, because she kind of is more in line with your abilities.
Right.
But you have 3 lives pretty much before you have to reset per, I guess, time. Because once you escape, like if I die once in the morning and then leave that place, and when I go to some place at noon, I'll have all my lives back.
Right.
So Juliana usually shows up closer to the beginning of the level. She kills me once a lot of times, because she kind of comes out of nowhere and kills me.
Yeah.
Then I'm able to sneak up on her afterwards and then kill her. But once you kill her, you get all your lives back.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
Honestly, Juliana at this point for me is more of, oh, you're gonna just give me another one of those. You're gonna give me another power upgrade. Thank you.
It's just a free power up in life dispenser.
Yeah, pretty much. At this point. The only time the AI Actually, at this point, the AI is pretty easy. I even checked to see if there are any
That's what I've heard.
difficulty settings
Yeah.
or not. For me, as someone who's not great at like shooters in general, there was a little difficulty in the beginning, but now that I've got the, especially once I got invisibility,
Yeah, I saw some of it.
and I got like, honestly, I don't know if other people do this. I just use the rifle, which is usually one shot kill. And I put in like speed reloading on there, so it's pretty instantaneous, and I'm just and because the AI is so stupid, once they see me I just turn invisible, like, oh, and then I shoot them.
It was very funny watching you just like go invisible right in front of people's faces and then shoot them.
Yep. And now I gotta power up to where I don't turn uninvisible when I shoot them.
Oh wow.
Well, I think I flash for a moment, but then I turn back instead of turning. It
wild.
turns off. I earned that power up.
That's OP.
I killed Juliana. Or did I? I can't remember who I killed. I killed someone.
Very nice. So overall enjoyment recommendation.
Yep. It's a very fun time. But yeah, I could definitely see like the Easy Alice complaints about getting easy. You do kind of feel like more of a god as you go on.
Yeah.
Which I usually look at that, especially for shooters, like, I earned the shit.
Oh, you
Earn
get
this
some
time.
enjoyment out of being
Yeah.
God.
But I do get the complaints. Like, I'm expecting it. I don't see any reason why my last go through of this won't be kind of a breeze.
Right.
Once I do the full visionary run.
Yeah. Fair. It's not, not good or bad, but for different people,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's look into the future. Stare, ponder our orb, look into Bala's, look into Bidoof's eyes,
Yep.
and you will see the future.
Yep. All right, Darby. So this is the way we're doing it. How we do it every year. We start with talking about the first half of 2022. We're gonna go a list of games that are confirmed for 2022, early 2022. I do at the end have a couple that I kind of infer might be early. Just kind of based on maybe what we know. Might be wrong on this. I'm gonna add another one real quick. I just remembered.
Go out on some limbs here.
Yeah, but there are not too many of those. Right?
I mean, Jeff, I don't know if you remember, but the thumbnail for our most anticipated for 2021
I remember.
had Tracer from Overwatch on
Yeah.
it.
Well, I'm talking. Yeah,
And
I'm
now
talking
it's not even coming in 2022, so that's where that's it.
Yep. But yeah, again, this is just us talking about the games for the first half, where we'll do general hype level, a little tease for our most anticipated, and we'll talk about what we think how they're going to review and sell and that kind of shit. Whatever comes to mind for these particular games.
Right.
All right. Yeah, and I have them order at least the beginning of date. First game, Weird West, coming out January 11th. Like the first game of the year.
Kicking off weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game looks like it has a lot going on.
Yep.
There's a lot of different things going on in that last trailer.
Yep. It's a Devolver Digital game, so.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know where are you at with that one.
Wait, apparently it's coming out in March. I've been lied to.
Stop! We're a fraud.
Yep, the order's all messed up. I don't know. As far as like my personal interest, I'm probably not gonna play it.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I don't know as far like how it's gonna do, because Devolver games feel like they're either like breakout hits or they're just kind of there. Like they don't do bad. They're just kind of there and maybe sell modestly for what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they certainly have plenty of games that kind of just come and go. It's not like it's a Devolver means instant success.
Yeah. It just means weird.
It's gonna be an interesting game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I would say. Looks interesting.
I keep on forgetting about this game, and I think I got it mixed up with 100 other games in the series. Rainbow Six Extraction coming January 20th.
I honestly didn't know what the revised name it ended up being. I knew that they changed the name, and I'm probably gonna forget Extraction again at some point because it's just so generic.
I'm gonna be honest, because of all these Rainbow Six games, I don't even know what makes this game different than the other ones.
This is the zombie one, and this what Quarantine used to be.
Yeah, wait, is it based on zombies? I don't know.
Yeah, the trailer
Okay.
was zombies.
Okay, yeah.
That was why it was Quarantine.
Or aliens.
Yeah. Well, it'll-
Parasite-like aliens called the Archaeans.
Okay, well, zombie aliens.
I guess it will probably sell well because it's one of those big ass Ubisoft games. I don't expect it to review particularly well because I feel like these haven't.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know with Rainbow Six is the multiplayer. I wonder, does this even have multiplayer? Or is this all multiplayer? I literally
No. Here's the thing. When I say not review particularly well, I don't mean that people won't enjoy, because sometimes they do. I just feel like recently these Ubisoft games, no matter how well they do or well people like them, like review score wise, they're not as good as they once were.
True. I mean, I will say Rainbow Six Siege people love. Like,
but I don't think it reviewed well initially, unless I'm getting mixed up with another one, which is very possible.
I mean, I was about to say Rainbow Six Siege is actually pretty damn good, and it's like a multiplayer like shooter type thing or whatever. I mean, this is.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Ghost Recon. This is
maybe it's Ghost Recon. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you might be thinking about Ghost Recon.
These all occupy the same headspace.
That is very, very, very fair. Very fair. I think Rainbow Six has a much better chance of success than Ghost Recon.
Fair.
In general, but I also still don't know what I'm talking about either, really.
So now, do you think the fact that we're so we completely forgot about this game? I know we're not the audience, but I feel like we're normally more on the pulse of this slightly. Will mean anything potentially about its sales. Like people just kind of won't notice it, kind of thing.
I don't know. I mean, it would, if this is like supposed to be the next Rainbow Six Siege or something like that, then I think it will do very well. But if it's just kind of a spin-off thing, I don't know.
I guess we'll see how.
I think it's going to sell better than gaming media makes you think it.
100%.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. My expectations for this, like right before launch, will depend during the college football playoffs. We see any trailers or any ads.
Fair. The PlayStation does have the Fiesta Bowl still.
True.
Right? So, you
true.
know, so it could.
Oh yeah, those playoffs are a week from now. Let's go. Might have to miss the first. I think I might miss the first one, but we'll see.
Bearcats, baby.
All right. Windjammers 2 finally coming January 20th.
Hey, that was announced like forever ago.
Yep. Finally, Windjammers 2.
You know what? Make it right, baby. Let's go.
Yep. I can't remember if it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, that would be like I'm interested in some like dumb fun with friends, but I'm certainly not paying any sort of like significant money at all. Sorry to Windjammers. Did you ever play Windjammers, like the old one?
No, I do not believe I did. It apparently is coming to Game Pass.
Very nice.
So why not give it a try? You know what I'm saying?
What was that on? Was that a SNES game, or was that later? Was that N64 or something? I don't even know.
It was pretty old, I do believe. 1994. Neo Geo arcade system.
Okay. It was just an arcade game.
Yep. Huh. Fun little thing. I think I have played it somewhere, but I can't remember where or in what context.
It's very funny to look at. It's multiplayer. It's like competitive multiplayer frisbee, and it's so 80s. It's like, I respect Windjammers.
Yes. All right, Dari. January 28th. Pokemon Legends Arceus, baby.
I mean, no one really cares about this game, right? So we can just move past this one, right?
True.
You know, just
no
move
one
right
does.
on. Like no.
Let's go, baby. Finally. I am very curious about this game in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We got them a decent amount of marketing, but they haven't gone like full on as far as like the complete gameplay loop. So I'm very curious.
I was about to say it feels like they're holding their cards more to their chest than this one, but I'm sure that will not be the case by the time we get to launch. I'm sure by the time we get to launch, they'll have had a direct with a bunch of stuff or something, you know, or you know, some big blowout.
Yeah.
But at least as of right now, we are pretty close, and it doesn't feel like they've shown a ton.
Yeah, which I'm not against, but some people were impatient. At least some of that discovery. You know?
I think that would be better. Like, I mean, I guess I'm not in the Pokemon ecosystem, but it always seems like a bummer to me that it's like 9 months in advance. You know all the Pokemon that's going to be in this game. Like they just like it's like, oh, look at all the like, and you get to the end, it's like, oh no, these are all the Pokemon in the whole game. It's like, do you want to know that? It's like,
and I normally say I have a couple, and we've had leaks as far like from the new Pokemon side, or like the regional variant side, about how many there are, and they've shown very little of them actually. I imagine we're a month roughly a month from launch, so we'll at least show a couple more of them. But yeah, it looks like they're going to, unless they go really crazy this last month, save a good many of them.
Nice.
But
I mean, yeah, you getting your. I mean, I don't know. What's your expectations on this game as far as like, I don't even know, compared to other Pokemon games, compared to what you want? Like, it's just, you know,
I haven't opened
hype level.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw
level.
this out there. Probably, I will probably like it more than what we see on the internet.
Yeah.
Because people will, part of it is they're going to, people on the internet are going to potentially not like it for two reasons. One, it's not different enough from Pokemon. There are people that will say this is too much like Pokemon. It will get knocked for both, like PlayStation All Stars Smash.
Right.
And there'll be some of that.
Also, our anticipated list is always about just knee-jerk hype. Like there's always in this anticipated. I always have it like there's some games where it's like I think I'm gonna like this game more than this game. But if you ask me right now, like what is like Darby, it'll appear in front of you right now if you want it. It's like what's the hype? You know, it's like and I know you are hyped for this game.
Oh yeah,
like,
give it to me. Yeah. No, it's exciting because it's the first like mainline Pokemon game that's really been crazy different.
Yes. No, yeah. It's definitely already, you just look at it once and you can tell it's the biggest, most drastic change.
Yeah. And that is inherently exciting. There are obviously still some questions on things, but what they've shown so far, at least enough to where I'll be interested in it, and no reason why I won't like it / love it. But yeah, as far as review, like potential how it reviews and everything and reception, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
One of the most throw your hands up when it comes to compared to any Pokemon game.
I mean, even from critic reviews, I saw some reviews for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that gave it a higher review because it went back to the basics.
It all just depends on what you want. What kind of Pokemon fan are you?
Yep. But yeah, just give me all this shit.
Hell yeah, boy.
But yeah, I always talk about it a little bit more when we get to anticipate.
Obviously gonna sell like crazy.
Yeah, I'm curious.
As we run through this, we kind of like we'll later talk more about our anticipation for the actual games, but like it's gonna sell a ton.
Yeah, I'm curious like how in comparison, because easily probably 10 million like the rest of them, but I expect this to sell less than generally the other mainline games. Unless it does like a Breath of the Wild.
I mean, it's a weird thing where it's kind of a remake, but it's such a new thing that like
definitely. I want to go as far to even say anywhere close to a remake. I mean, it's the same. Technically, takes place in a region, but it's completely different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's like mostly what I mean.
Yeah. Apparently, in one of the trailers recently, and Brilliant Diamond is called the Sinnoh region, and this one is the Hisui region. Apparently, they're calling Arceus, who's their god, Sinnoh. They say like Sinnoh help, or like, and the equivalent of like Sinnoh help us, like God help us or whatever. There are a few things saying Sinnoh. Dying Light 2, Stay Human, coming February 4th. This game's finally coming out, maybe, unless it gets delayed again.
Another one we've gotten lots of marketing for.
I'm feeling good about how this game will at least be. Like,
I think it looks good.
Yeah,
it does look good.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm gonna get it or play it or anything like that, but I do think it. I do think it looks quality every time.
Yeah, the more they show, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm seeing what you're doing here, and it looks like you're hitting it. It kind of like one of those things. I haven't played Dying Light or anything, so I might be off base here. But it kind of looks like they're going completely on what they want to do for Dying Light or whatever. Like the ideas they wanted for Dying Light and just completely hitting it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it looks like what I would imagine is like the perfected vision of what you'd want Dying Light, and it is interesting. I think visually, like setting wise, it just looks so forgettable just because every zombie movie thing looks the same in a lot of ways, but the gameplay wise looks very different than a lot of other zombies because of all the parkour and the platforming and all the other stuff like that. So I mean, like, it has, if you have a zombie thing nowadays, you need to have a hook, you need to have something that makes you unique, and I do at least think gameplay wise it has that. Visually I do think it's very boring looking, but I mean, it's not really its fault, it's just kind of what it is at this point.
But I will say the one thing that potentially has me interested in if it's good is the fact that there is like online co-op and stuff. Yeah, like if that's really good, that's like it'd be a fun. I don't know, like with like up to 4 players ever, or something like that could be a fun thing. potentially.
Yeah,
I mean, we
wonder
probably
what-
wouldn't get to it, but it's something to keep an eye on.
I wonder what that's like. Is it like
Yeah.
a Left 4 Dead type, like going through a mission type thing, or is it like
It might be
you're
kind
all
of
in
jumping
the
into
open
people's
world, or-
worlds.
it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, something to keep an eye on. Sifu, February 8th. Dari, I don't know if you saw the previews for this game like a week or so back.
Yeah, very positive.
Very positive.
Very positive. Yeah.
And I'm happy for it because it's one of those games where it's like this can go either way, or not. Like I don't think this game's going to be
It has the
bad.
potential to be like a breakout.
Yeah, it's either like,
yeah.
oh, this is going to be one of those sleeper hits of the year, or swimming in sevens.
This is the people who did that open world fighting game type
Yes.
thing, right?
I'm blanking on the name.
Absolver?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And I remember even back then, I was like, the mechanics of this game seem very cool. It just seems like the overall presentation
yes.
and everything. Like, it almost felt like a proof of concept more than an actual game. And so this feels like you're taking what seemed like very sound, almost fighting game esque like move sets and stuff when you do all this. Like the gameplay looked good, and applying it to a very creative and interesting premise and like vibe or whatever to this with the like you're aging as you like die and everything.
And if
very interesting.
yeah, and if you age too much, you just lose. Like,
And
you
it's
start
like, I love how they say when you age, like your health goes down, but your like damage and the amount of moves you have and everything go up. So it's like you're getting older, you're physically weaker, but you're smarter.
Yeah.
That is really cool. That's interesting.
That's a game I'm interested on. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for because it looks very cool. Like, yeah, you mentioned Absolve. That's a game we were kind of keeping an eye on at the time. But yeah, just kind of beyond the mechanics, it's like, okay, this is like the most interesting. But yeah, applying that to this kind of thing
For sure.
definitely gets my attention more. Crossfire X coming February 10th. I think this is just the campaign. It's probably going to be big. Maybe not big to where we hear anything about it.
I think it's like the biggest game in China. I think it's
Yeah.
like literally number one in China. So
Yeah. Quietly big.
no, it's gonna be bigger than anything else we probably talk about here. But it's outside of maybe Pokemon, but it's gonna be
Yep.
We will not hear about it or talk about it.
Nope. Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, February 15th. It's a Dynasty Warriors game. It will sell what Dynasty Warrior games sell. It will review what they...
You play all these other Muso games around. Do you actually play the OG? Do you actually play any Dynasty Warrior games?
I did in the past. I have not played normal Dynasty Warrior games, and I don't know how long. It got me into the genre, but then I've gone on to... Because like I like the Muso genre, but you know you can. That's not one of those genres you can play like a lot.
That's fair. I mean, it's a very repeatable genre. I think that's why they go to all these spin-off things. And it's like you can just apply this formula to X.
I do think like it depends on the game. Like the spin-offs are kind of getting more interesting because they're taking more stuff from the original IP in this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think this definitely works for Muso fans. Is the back to basics Muso games after playing like Pyro Warriors, which has a lot more, at least some more mechanics and all that kind of stuff. Take some Zelda elements and all that.
Is this one of those things where like the spin-offs are more popular than the main thing? Or is Dynasty Warriors still pretty decently big?
I imagine it's at least picking up because they keep on making them. But I might be wrong on this, but I do think I might have seen Hyrule Warriors. One of them might be the best-selling Muso game at this point. I think it might have been like an official statement. It might have been Age of Calamity that did it. Like it was at least the fastest selling.
Nice.
Because what all is released, I know the original Hyrule Warriors sold a pretty fair amount, especially for a Muso game.
Right.
Yeah. And the One Piece ones do pretty well. I think Pyro Warriors 4 was the one I downloaded for Game Pass. It sold over 1 million.
So more power to you. Any game series that gets to 9 must be doing something right.
Yep. Well, 9 is children's numbers compared to this. King of Fighters 15 coming February 17th. Yeah.
Ooh, baby. I just do not have room for other fighting games in my life. I barely play the ones that I like already. So
true. Yeah.
Just don't have it. And my wallet. Can't, because it's just too much of an investment.
Yep. Looks very good though.
Yes.
I like the new character designs. Horizon Forbidden West coming February 18th. Biggin.
Yeah, it is a big one. Yeah. Biggest, I mean, I'm interested to see what people think about it, whatever, how much it sells, all that. I mean, I think it will sell well. I think it'll probably outsell the previous one, all that stuff. Very interested to see just story-wise where this goes and like how interesting they can keep it,
Are you, Dari? Because I can't remember on the podcast, but you said recently I'm probably not getting this game.
Well, we'll see where it falls on my anticipated
Or it falls at all.
If it falls where it falls, we'll stay tuned to see. I mean, yeah, I'm more interested from almost more of an outsider for like Sony and like where this IP is going more than anything.
Mm-hmm. I am curious on a sales standpoint because the first Horizon sold very well to where I could see this also selling very well, but maybe not selling as much.
It could.
And again, it's because Horizon, the original Horizon, we don't have exact numbers. We know it sold over 10 million. That's just a fuck ton.
Yeah, and I think it had a lot of legs. I think it was something that kept selling.
Yeah. But I guess the good thing for this game is, as far as sales go, I'm curious to see how it runs on this. It's going to be PS4.
Yeah,
it's cross-gen.
Right. That was like, if I'm going to predict future headlines, this game is absolute shit on PS4. Do not get it. It's a very much a possibility.
Okay. Sorry,
that's a possibility.
I'm not necessarily saying it's a counterpoint. I'm generally asking because I'm struggling to think of any in particular Sony. Do you remember, of any top of your head Sony first party games or maybe even Xbox first party games that were cross gen that the old gen version was really bad?
No, and that's why it might be fine. It might be okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's a possibility. I'm struggling to think of a cross gen Sony or Xbox game right now, and I know they're out there, but I'm struggling to think what they would be because like Last of Us came out last year.
All of the Microsoft games right now.
Yeah.
But there are less Sonys. You're right for sure because they're not really.
I have not heard anyone talk about like how Forza runs on old systems or anything. But
or Halo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Halo is out now. Yeah. So I haven't heard about any of that.
There's Sackboy on PS4, but that's definitely not
Yeah, I mean, and it also might just be fine. I mean,
Admittedly, it'd be like I do have those fears or think we could potentially see those kind of headlines, but it being a Sony first party makes me feel a little better about it, especially since I'm going to assume it started as a PS4 title and then just kind of bumped up.
Yeah, and it's been worked on for a while. And obviously, I think it was building off of the first one a lot when you watch the gameplay.
February 22nd, a couple days later, Destiny 2: The Witch Queen.
A bunch of dorks out there seem really excited.
Fucking dorks.
These fucking dorks in their Destiny 2, because we definitely are one to talk. I don't know. Very happy for them.
I am one to talk.
When they showed that trailer, it straight up looked like live action footage for a minute. That was like, holy shit. But I think it was just a cinematic anyway. But still, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty.
Yep. People will love it. It will do very well.
Yes.
Like any Destiny thing.
Sure will.
But Darby, how's Elden Ring releasing February 25th gonna do?
Flop.
You heard it here first.
Flop.
Yep. It's true. FromSoft can't win forever.
No. Yeah, I don't know. People, this is gonna be in so many people's game of the year.
Yeah.
Just immediately, no matter what.
No matter how bad it is.
Yeah. I think it's going to do very, very well. It's just like, at this point, FromSoft has so many games and so many different variations of this genre. Like regardless of what people say, they are in the same, like, game type or whatever. Yeah. Like, even though it's very different or whatever. But, like,
same DNA.
There's a lot of FromSoft people that will be like, no, Sekiro and Bloodborne are nothing alike. I was like, okay, Sekiro and Bloodborne are a lot more alike than, like, Sekiro and fucking, like, Splatoon. It's like it's the same type of game, but different takes on it, and so this is obviously another completely different take on it being more open world like this. So I think people are going to love it and it's going to be great. I do think you're going to have camps of people who are like, I prefer the other ones. Like, I don't like this one as much. And then you have other people that be like, no, this is what like, this is my favorite variation of this whole, and like that conversation I think is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be more of a split game than it feels like right now.
I think it's going to, yeah, kind of going with that. I think it's going to be kind of split game, potentially kind of like Breath of the Wild was.
Right.
Where I think there'll be mostly like a whole bunch of praise, but yeah, then you have those people that are just kind of like, I'm not with you guys there for this and that reason.
And Sekiro had that a bit. Like, that's all a lot of people were like, I respect Sekiro, but I don't vibe with it, Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about sales for this because I kind of feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like the hype for this is more than any other one.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like
so. I'm very curious if that will translate to sales.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it will, and new consoles, and like I think it's gonna be the big shit right for that part of the year. Outside of Pokemon, obviously.
I'm interested in it. We'll see where it falls on my
list. This is the interesting thing. Like, it's obviously working because you've never been interested in buying a FromSoft game, and now you're talking about getting this day one. So something worked. Something about all this.
Hey, I can't put a finger on it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. You don't even need to. But I'm just saying, like, there's probably other people like you and everything, and I'm like closer there than I. Would not say I'm a 100% day one buy, but I'm a lot closer than other ones, and I don't, can't exactly put a finger on it either.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're alone there. Yeah.
Going to be, at least for the first little bit, the one game people talk as, oh, this is GOATY.
Yes.
Maybe with Horizon kind of shortly after that for some people, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Babylon's Fall, March 2nd. Darby, I think, I don't mean to be mean, but I've been following video games long enough. This game's going to bomb, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, okay.
It has no redeeming qualities to me.
I don't think it's many redeeming qualities to most people. And the thing is, this is a Square game. I'm going to read in the next for this upcoming month 3 other Square Enix games.
Yeah.
4 in a month from Square Enix.
Maybe not the best strategy. Maybe space those bad boys out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of strategy, Dark, because I don't think we have much more to say about Babylon's Fall. I think it's going to bomb from a commercial standpoint and probably from our view standpoint.
I think so too, but I also thought, like, what was it, Scarlet Nexus? I was like, oh, I didn't hear anything about that game. It probably did bad. And it was like, oh, wait, no, it actually apparently did really good.
Played the demo. Good. I'm interested in trying it on Game Pass now. Probably will never get to it, but I get why people like it based on what I've played. Well, going back to the strategy segue, on March 4th, Triangle Strategy. So I feel like I feel good as far as how this game's going to actually be. Yeah. Like, based on that demo and everything, because we played Octopath Traveler, both fell off on it at some point.
Yeah.
But just from what I've seen and played of the demo, I feel like this type of game will. I'm feeling good about this being able to carry the full length of the game better.
I feel better. I don't think I feel quite as good as you do. Just because I still do think Octopath Traveler presented insanely well. I mean, it was my number one most anticipated game that year or whatever. And I think and it starts, and from the beginning, it was really, really well. I'm not 100% sold that they're going to nail a whole game of this or whatever, and also from a writing standpoint and everything else, because I think some of these things all kind of like the wheels started to fall off somewhat in Octopath Traveler, and I'm not like, this isn't for sure not a day one buy for me either. Like, I'm not 100% convinced, but I do feel a lot better about it. And I think that, like you said, this style of game is going to fall. He's probably not going to fall into like the grindy trap, because it's going to be way more.
It's kind of like that based on what they've shown. It's at least, I don't think it's going to do the grindy trap and the whole thing with the level of discrepancies between them, just the way the story's probably going to be told and everything based on what we've seen probably will lend it better. Yeah. Because it seems to be less than these people are kind of separate, but also kind of together. And this seems more like, okay, this is the story. Right. There might be different like arcs to this thing with different characters taking the lead, but it seems to be one story.
Should be an easier writing job. Octopath was a interesting writing prompt, but very hard to make feel cohesive when you have all these separate people.
Yeah. And it's been a bit, so I can't remember the nitty gritty of it, but I do remember really liking what they were doing, like with the strategy genre based on that demo. We did.
Final Fantasy Tactics, but modern, with a lot of modern ideas.
Yep. Cool. So I'm excited for it. Gran Turismo 7 on that same day, March 4th.
gonna sell like hotcakes, and I have nothing to say about it.
I don't even know how these games review. I assume they do well.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, going back to Square real quick, Darby, because we have to. Chocobo Grand Prix coming March 10th. For some reason, I say okay. That sounded more antagonistic than I wanted to say. Starting off, people seem more excited for this based on the initial trailer than we were, for sure.
Good. Yeah, that's good. I think the idea of this, I think this absolutely could work. I just think when I looked at that trailer, it was like it barely even looks Final Fantasy. It just looks like a very budget Mario Kart ripoff, and like the tracks, like. I think I said the same thing during when whatever live reaction that was, or whenever we saw that. I was like, this thing should be beating you over the head with its Final Fantasy stuff, you know? Like, you should be like flipping through Midgar. There's Bahamut comes and lands on the track, all those other crazy stuff or whatever, because like this is such a hard genre to get into when you have such a like established thing with like Mario Kart and even Crash Team Racing and other things like that. It's like, you have the Final Fantasy, like, it's okay. I think it would be a decent idea to like have, we're going to use this Final Fantasy IP that everyone knows and loves or whatever, and this genre that everyone knows and loves, and mash them together. But it just like does not seem like.
So here's the weird thing. We might have talked about this after it was shortly announced, because I didn't notice in the trailer at first, like you. It might be more of what you're saying there than it initially looked in the trailer, even if it doesn't go fully like that, because if I remember listening to people talk and then checking again, there is a gold saucer track apparently.
Nice. I mean,
and Vivi's a playable driver, right, and another character from 9 whose name I forget.
Steimer.
Yeah, Steimer. And it's like, why didn't you make these guys a bigger deal? Or also even because looking at the roster of people we will notice, they stand out as like the only named party members. It's like, why are these two the only one? Okay, Vivi I can kind of get to making a name Black Mage, fine, whatever, but Steimer?
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, why do you hold yourself back? It's already going to be so hard to sell it. Like, why would you lean in? You know,
like, even if you were making a more cutesy, maybe chibi looking thing.
World of Final Fantasy.
No. Go to the Sadia route and have like one character per game. Even if it's not all the main characters. Have Red 13 be the 7 rep or something like that. Go goofy like that.
Yeah.
If you want to do that.
I mean, but it's not even like these characters have already been chibi before and other things.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, I hope it is. I hope maybe that was just a very bad trailer for it.
I mean, at least going to keep an eye on it, because if I just hear like, because I've been paying attention to the game as far as like all they say it's going to have in it, but if I hear from, let's say, Easy Alex Gertrude, probably going to play it, and Good Vibes Gaming and stuff, I know it's going to play it, like, oh no, this is good and has a lot of content and all that stuff, I'll be like, okay, I might pick this up for a
I'm in theory, the idea of it, I don't think it's bad. Yeah.
March 16th, Tunic. Finally. Excited for this one.
Oh, yeah.
I just realized I didn't... I don't know where it fit in. Okay.
Yeah, interested to see like how good this is. Like, I know it's gonna be good, just how good. Like,
demo, I liked what I played, and based on that, because this game's been shown forever, so I kind of forget everything we've seen. It's just always like, I know I like what I see. That last trailer shows like, okay, this is showing more variety than just the typical basic like Zelda. First world Zelda looking thing, like the demo had it on, kind of like, okay, I feel really good about this game.
Hell yeah.
I think it's going to review very well. I'm hoping it sells well.
Yeah, I can't really predict this one. But yeah.
Can't remember if it's supposed to be on Game Pass day one. Either way, it's probably going to be a buy for me at some point. Unless reviews come out and it's just terrible, which again, I highly doubt.
Yeah, it's big on my radar too.
Yeah. I'm sure this is big on your radar, Darby. Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, March 18th, the 4th of the Square games.
I can't wait to like watch a compilation of Max playing it.
Yeah,
just to see if it has any other memes in the gold mine, or did we see the peak? Did we see the peak? Was the Lip Biscuit thing the peak, or is there something beyond that?
Darby.
And I want to see what the end of this game is, and like how batshit insane is this get? Like, does it end up crossing over into like? Darby. Is there a 7 remake crossover?
Jack is Cloud's father. Okay, you heard it here first. Cloud's name is actually Cloud Garland.
There's another timeline where he's Cloud.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Then the ending thing is you're going through a world or a thing from each Final Fantasy game, and that he's actually related to either the main villain or the main character.
So how on earth is this going to be a game that's at all talked about a year from now? Do you think this is going to sell fairly well just because it's Final Fantasy? What? I don't know.
I think how well it sells is going to be based on reviews or how it's received, and how it's received. Man, I don't know if it's how people are going to talk about it or be completely based on the gameplay, which again from the demo is pretty solid from what I played and based on what everyone says, or made the story so memey it's kind of fun, or maybe it just showed it's absolutely worse and it's better than what it shows, and that's the only bad part. I doubt it, but I don't know.
I can't predict this game. Don't even want to touch that.
As far as will it be remembered in a year, this is either going to be may close to the Guardians of the Galaxy as a surprise hit. Maybe not to that level, because people weren't fair on Guardians at the beginning, let's be honest. Or it could be the Ballad in Wonderworld of the year.
Yeah. I mean, I guess will it be remembered is a stupid question. Of course it
will. We'll never forget Ballad in Wonderworld.
But I mean, we're never going to forget that fucking Limp Bizkit thing. I'm going to go to my grave remembering that. Like, it's already chaos. Chaos in the Limp Bizkit thing. It's already going to be in my memory forever.
Yes.
So regardless of what.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, March 25th.
I think this looks very, it's easy to be kind of pessimistic about, there's just Borderlands stuff all the time. I think this looks very cute, and if I was a Borderlands fan, this looks like it's a very interesting idea to let you still do the Borderlands thing, but in a completely different setting. And I think the fact it's a D&D campaign, I really appreciate that, and I think it's really cute. I'm not going to play it because I'm not a Borderlands person, but I do think it's a very cute idea.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, it looks funny. Yeah, and this is going for a different setting now than obviously than the normal thing, so that makes it stand out. And this is based off what is considered one of the most popular DLCs for Borderlands, so that's cool, just making it a full game. So yeah,
yes,
I imagine it's gonna be one of those games where it's obviously gonna sell a lot, maybe more than based on what we hear, but I'm expecting in the 8 range probably for as reviews go.
Yeah. That's fine. Just hope it doesn't feel like some of the trap that these type of things fall into, where it just feels like DLC that's stretched out. I hope it feels like a full game. But
Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl, May 19th. We're jumping all the way to May. No April games.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Mm-hmm. People are really looking forward to this game, so I hope it's good for them.
Yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, May 19th.
Now, which one is this?
I'm sorry, Stalker 2 coming out April 28th. That's
which of the 8 Vampire the Masquerade games is this?
This is an RPG.
Okay. I just really worried about these guys. Really worried about we're branching Vampire.
Narrative RPG.
Okay.
I don't expect this game to sell well.
No.
Because no one keeps track of what these are. Forspoken.
Let's go. Forspoken.
May 24th, Darby. Me and you seem to be one of the more props.
It's apparently not a popular opinion to be excited for this game, but I am pretty damn excited for this game. I mean, I don't think it's foolproof, but everything I've seen, I'm more and more interested.
I will say, in the preview things, the way that the developers describe the character, it's interesting. I think they just try to give her a hip hoppity walk.
Hip hoppity walk.
Something like that. It's like, oof, stop.
Yeah.
You white people.
Cease this.
Seriously. But yeah. But I mean, the game does look fun, and the story, I don't think it looks nearly as bad, or the character looks nearly as annoying as everyone's trying to say.
Yeah, I agree too. And I do think there's still a chance it could get there. Something like this can always be cringy when you're writing young people. I mean, sometimes it is not. So
I mean, there's nothing like it's the day one buy or anything, but I am definitely on that radar. I'm very interested in
the peak of what this could be. We're just talking about anticipation, not I'm not placing my bets on. I'm not betting money on this being the best thing in the world or whatever. But as far as my anticipation of what this could be is pretty high.
I'm
more on that later.
Yeah. Yeah, looks really cool. As far as sales and reception, again, I have no idea where it's going to land because everyone seems to be kind of down on this. So who knows?
Yeah.
They'll go into. And I do think the potential sales thing is completely tied to the reception of the game. If it's not received well, then it'll probably bomb. If it's received
probably right.
well, probably sell these decent and not great.
Yeah. New Square IP though, so exciting.
Yep. AI, the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative coming Q1 or Q2. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
Loved AI, the Somnium Files. Glad we're getting that surprise sequel. Didn't expect it, so I'm glad we're getting it so soon.
Hype.
Yep. I have no idea how the first one sold, so I have no idea how to go off of this one. Yeah. Based on the fact it's coming out now, they probably greenlit it right away. So
probably. Hopefully, expectations are not like through the roof.
Yeah.
For sales.
Again, as far as reception, as you know, will probably be in line of the first game. People who like it will probably like it and all that. Hopefully, they tune down the pervy jokes. That'd be nice. The fact that they have a different main character, it being the little girl from the first one, now all grown up, who's a badass, probably help with that.
Badass. Yeah.
Should I beat people with a pipe? I love it. But yeah, I am very excited for this game, and more on that later. Dragon Ball The Breakers. I don't know if it's coming out first half, but I just put it here because it feels kind of like slipping in a June kind of game to me.
Yeah. I expect this to kind of be a blip on the radar and just move along.
I am expecting.
There's a chance.
I'm expecting it to be big with streamers for 1, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's generous. 2 weeks is very generous.
Yeah. And then it will just stay in the background and maybe be a cult thing with Dragon Ball fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right on the money.
Yeah. Don't expect it to sound nearly as well as Xenoverse, despite it being in the same universe.
No.
Somehow we'll sell more than Fighters and I'll cry. But it does look interesting. I am curious.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a dead by concept to like a lot of people are saying. I don't feel like it's gonna have the budget and everything else that it probably would need to just survive. And it seems like popular game, popular IP, mush them together, and it doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot. Don't feel good about there being a whole lot of thought past that. Yeah.
We'll move on. Ghostwire Tokyo. Again, not confirmed for first half, but I can see it coming out.
Yeah. So, it was supposed to come out last year, right?
That's what we heard Halloween time. So it could very well be after it, but I'm just going to slip in here,
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, how it's going to receive, sell, do it. It's kind of been all over the place. People have been hyped for this game, de-hyped, then kind of re-hyped, then it's been delayed.
Yeah,
kind of not talked about a lot. So
I feel like we'll hear about it more because I feel like with the Sony Bethesda collab with this and Deathloop, they obviously wanted to get Deathloop. They were focusing on that, and now that's done, and we just haven't gotten much from Sony since really Deathloop came out.
Yeah,
so. We'll probably start seeing Ghostwire will be the new Deathloop until it comes out. We'll see it at every fucking thing, and everyone will love it. By that I mean hate it, but
yeah. I'm not anticipating this being on your anticipated list. So what do you think about this game? Like
I am interested in it. Kind of like the vibe is going for the gameplay. I'm curious about because we've only seen a little bit and. The first person was a surprise.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but again, I am interested. But you're right, not on my anticipated list. It barely missed the mark for my top 20. It was close to being there last year, but roughly the same spot.
Yeah.
So,
but the next game,
Gotham Knights, baby.
Oh, I thought it was curvy. Gotham Knights, baby.
Gotham Knights, baby.
Gotham Knights.
Same thing. Doesn't have a date, but it's supposed to be this year. So, yeah. Excited for this one. Curious. I think it's gonna sell. I think it has a pretty good baseline. It's probably
it's DC Batman. So
I feel pretty good about how this game's actually going to play based on what we've seen.
Yeah, there are potential causes for concern with the multiplayer thing. It's just like can be a hard thing to nail down with the story multiplayer thing. It has to be able to play single player or multiplayer, all this or whatever, and the narrative and all that. But so there's some causes to worry, but overall everything we've seen, has looked good. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like for the multiplayer, it seems more of they're just kind of inserted into the game, and it just might be weird. I think I remember they said you can kind of play as two of the same character if you wanted to, so there'll be weird shit like that.
Which again, like we said before, gets to the narrative thing of like you can't. You can potentially stifle your narrative where like any of the characters have to be able to be there at any time.
Yeah,
or whatever. It's like, I don't know.
Probably won't have a mission where Batgirl needs to kind of go in solo for whatever reason.
Right.
Like all four have to be here. Red Hood just kind of look in the background like, yeah, I'm
just
here.
Like, just kind of chilling out.
Yep. I died. Yeah. But yeah, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Coming out Q2 as of right now.
Post-apocalyptic Kirby.
Yep. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the potential
very
for
cute.
this. Yeah, it looks fun vibes. I'm glad they're giving Kirby a chance to move on from 2D. Not that there's anything wrong with 2D, but problem is with Kirby 2D is it was too samey at this point. It was not really any innovation. So them giving this a try has me very excited. I love 3D platformers.
Mario gets to do both. Donkey Kong to some degree gets to do both. It's like not really at this point, but
no.
But Mario gets to do both. Zelda gets to do both. Like Kirby do both.
Yeah. And again, we don't get too many. It's weird for me to say that now after we had this year of Ratchet, It Takes Two, and Psychonauts, like bigger budget 3D platformers. Or
that's it. 3D platformer just won Game of the Year, baby.
Yeah. But I'm happy that again Nintendo is taking another stab at it with Kirby, or kind of the first step. It's weird,
and it definitely has some Odyssey vibes to it, and like some of the platforming and other like things going on.
Yeah, and based on that trailer, I feel like there's going to be something like the capture mechanic that's going to come up in a trailer, where it's going to be like, like we're going to see in the trailer, like, oh, this is what they're doing with the game to kind of maybe set it apart from other Kirby things. Even if it doesn't go completely that way, I'm still very excited for this.
Samesies.
Nobody Saves the World, scheduled for sometime first half this year. We're supposed to come out this year. They kind of recently got pushed back. But yeah.
Huh.
I expected to sell well, or kind of in line with what it is for the studio. I expected to review very well because it's Guacamelee devs.
Yeah.
And honestly, the game just looks very good.
I need to look more into it. Honestly,
it looks very good.
First, like 2 trailers or something.
I am interested.
Hell yeah, yeah. I mean, should probably play Guacamelee at some point. But
true. But this one has a bunch of like transformations, and you can combine things and become like a mermaid dragon or some shit.
Yeah,
so
Hell yeah, I've always meant to be a mermaid dragon.
Guacamelee can only turn into like a chicken or something. That's it. That's old news.
I think Porties and Guacamelee too, though. So.
You make a good point. Yeah. Good case. Yeah, it looks good. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt coming out first half. This is the battle. Wait, it's the battle royale. Yeah, battle royale. Yeah.
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance. I'm sorry.
No chance out for a lot of things. Well, probably not going to review grades. I hate to be this. I hate being these negative.
I hope we're wrong. Yeah, please run us through the mud. But
I only want Bobby Kotick, the game industry, to have bad days.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some other ones, but
there's plenty of other ones.
Me saying that, you get the idea.
All the Bobby Kotick types.
I do think it could. I mean, we kind of discussed it. I think like Jacob may have some more insight on this franchise. I want to be in a conversation to discuss Vampire the Masquerade and like what kind of happened.
Because they're going for something.
Because the Vampire the Masquerade. What was the subtitle? Or that was it? Because it's Vampire the Masquerade, Blood Hunt, and Swan Song.
I think it's just 2. I think it's Vampire the Masquerade 2. I think it has a number on it.
Okay, I didn't know there was like something else, and then
There might be something
okay.
else.
Well, anyway, they had like such high hope for this game. They were pushing it, and just the way they were talking about it, they obviously expect it to be out by now and be huge because they already making these spin-offs, and it got delayed like forever.
It seems so dangerous.
And restarted
so,
like
so risky, so ridiculously risky.
They got way ahead of themselves, and it's gonna bite them in the butt.
I struggle to see how it doesn't.
Yeah. Final game. I just added the last minute because I do think there's a decent chance it could at least launch kind of in the first half. Multiverses, which we've talked a lot about in the last few podcasts for sure. So definitely listen to some of that. But yeah, very high hopes for this game. Yes.
I think the high ceiling, also low floor. I mean, it could like there's definitely a big variance that could happen here.
I'm feeling good about it because kind of like with they might be a little more tight-lipped on things, like with Nick All-Stars, which definitely made me feel better about the game. Some of the devs are talking like on the Reddit and the Discords and stuff, answering questions. I'm trouble remembering the certain examples, but I found on Reddit this long list of questions that one of the devs answered, and just some of them, like, I don't know, made me feel better. Like, okay, they're in the right headspace for this. Not that I had any doubt based on what we've seen, and we got that gameplay. Full speed thing last week, and it looked very good. Very good, and just based on what Saul's characters like, they're very unique.
For sure. I have high hopes. When I say it has a low floor, I'm not like saying that's what I predicted. It's just,
well, one thing I did see, I might have misunderstood it. Someone posted the moveset for Reindog, just like the button layouts and the description and everything. It looks like some moves might be completely different, whether it's co-op mode or single player, or there'll at least be some variation. But the way one of them read, it sounds like it was like completely different.
Interesting. That could be interesting.
So
yeah, we were talking about. I wonder how they handle it, huh? Well,
yeah, but I'm very excited for this. Like you said, kind of very high ceiling, but yeah, it can have a low floor. But based on what we've seen, it's going to be free to play, and I'm curious how that. But it looks like there might be handling things the right way, at least for now. So
I agree.
Yep.
Okay. So that is the first half of 2022 as we know it right now.
Yep. A lot more games are going to get added. I kind of like, I forget this, and I'm reminded every year I prepare this list. There's always a lot more games to talk about when we talk about the second half, because everyone announces their games.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people were more gun shy at the beginning of the year for whatever reason.
Right.
But they'll always insert the game, or at least give it a date for that second half.
But still, seems like a pretty fairly big first start to the 2022. I mean, I think it's front loaded in a few certain areas, like the Elden Ring and Pokemon Legends.
Well, I didn't put in here, and it technically wasn't on the thing to potentially put on here, but I think there could be an issue chance Hollow Knight Silk Song comes out.
Yeah, any moment that could happen. And it could not. It's like one of those.
That's the game I feel like at this point the devs, again, remember, like 3 people, might be more now, they might have hired more people. So small team are probably at the point like, okay, we're not going to say anything until we're like a week from launch or
which
something.
Is smart. Yeah, at this point, that's because anything you say is just going to be all eyes on it.
Oh yeah, we weren't able to talk about it because we didn't do the thing, but for that indie showcase, I said that Hollow Knight fans have a right to, be anticipated for the end thing and stuff, but some Hollow Knight fans need to calm down.
Oh, yeah.
I saw some people, like, unironically be, like, because I don't know if you watched it at all, but for the last game, they're like, we have one more surprise, and it obviously wasn't Hollow Knight. Mm-hmm. Some people unironically being, you can't do that and it not being Hollow Knight. You just can't.
There are other games.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
It's
not Nintendo's job to announce Hollow Knight.
No, it's like, come on.
I mean, let's be honest. Hollow Knight Silk Song's at the point now where that's like a big thing for a normal direct now.
Yeah. Just when it happens, it's going to be phenomenal, and you'll all forget about how long it took because it won't matter because it'll be great.
Yep. All right, Derby. Let's get to the most anticipated.
Let's channel the hype, Jeff. Channel it within you. Top 10 anticipated. For 2022, just where our heart goes, follow your heart, Jeff.
Yep.
I want you to follow your heart and start off with our number 10 or number 20 or however you want to do this. Do your honorable mentions.
Okay.
Anything below 10 is honorable mention.
Yeah.
List them off. We're not going one by one, though.
All right. Wait, did you have more?
I have honorable mentions too.
Okay.
They are not ranked though.
Okay.
They're not ranked in order.
20 Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Let's go. I'm very curious about this. How they're gonna do cards and shit, but I'm excited. It'll be fun with Alex. Number 19, Forspoken.
Fucking low.
There's a lot of games there. Darby, wait till you hear my top games of 2021 list. If you want to hear about something maybe being low.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If I had that reaction to Forspoken, I'm gonna have like some intense reactions probably to the game of the year. So get ready for that. Get excited for the game of the year.
Yeah. Number 18, Gotham Knights. So sad for this game.
Yep.
It was on my list last year. I'm excited where this is going. Number 17. I'm excited for the potential of this, Sonic Frontiers.
That's fair. That's fair. Like, for your hype,
Yeah.
that should be way higher. I think. For like, be honest with you, it is not like what you think it's gonna be. This is your hype level, But I mean,
I do. I also have read the Sonic comics that the guy writing for this has done recently because they were on my Amazon comic subscription thing. So I read them.
Yeah,
and they are in good. So
nice.
might have a good Sonic story for once.
Hell yeah.
16, Somerville.
Killing me, Jeff.
Sorry.
Killing me. All right.
Number 15, Triangle Strategy.
That's a surprise too.
Yeah, very excited for this. Like where it's going. Like the strategy games. Give me the pretty shit. 14, Sea of Stars.
Which one is this?
That's that RPG Chrono Trigger looking motherfucker from the Messenger developers.
Oh yeah.
It was put back into my mind because I
need to see that again. But
it was in the most recent Indie Direct, and it looks fantastic.
Okay, I need to look at that again.
It also makes me want to play the Messenger because it's apparently a prequel to it, and the game looks good in general.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Look at it. It looks. It looks great. It's supposed to come. It was dated for late 2022. I can see being pushed back, but it looks great.
Nice.
13, Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Okay,
Let's go,
baby.
Give me that 3D platforming goodness. Number 12, Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, shit. It was this game. Wait, this game's supposed to come out next year?
Yes.
I thought this was like a 2023 game. Okay. Fuck. Shit.
So you understand why I put it on my list?
Yeah, like whenever they had that first trailer, like me and you were like, holy fuck, this looks really, really good.
Yeah.
I just thought this was further away than that. Damn.
I mean, it's like they were talking like holiday 2022, so there's a good chance it might get delayed, but they put 2022 on it.
Yeah, that did look really, really good though.
Yeah, and I
need to see the new thing.
Yeah, and the trailer for it, they announced the Switch port for it, which hadn't been officially announced.
Yeah, damn, that art is beautiful. So this probably should be in my list. I just like legit thought that was way far away. All right,
yeah. So yeah, number 12, Marvel's Midnight Suns. Really like what I saw from there. With all that kind of stuff. Very interested to go into the more magic side of Marvel, and I really like what they were saying with the whole character interactions during the downtime for it.
Yeah.
Give me strong Three Houses vibes, but may go a little farther with that.
Yeah. Spoilers, this is also my honorable mention, but this has a chance to be like actually one of the best games of the year.
Yeah. And number 11, Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Rocksteady hasn't done me wrong yet. Yeah. I'm going to believe in them. I like what we saw from the gameplay thing. I like what we're seeing from the story and all that. Everything looks like they're doing everything right, and I am very excited.
Yes, absolutely. All right, my honorable mentions are not ranked like Jeff's.
I put in the work.
And I just put a few. I'm not like there's other games or whatever, but I just tried to limit it to the ones that I'm actually like have some like hard excitement for. Suicide Squad is also honorable mention for me because I also really like the tone of everything that we're seeing there. I have Triangle Strategy. Obviously, as everything we said, like that's another one that could jump up a lot depending on things. I have Elden Ring.
Okay.
This is gonna be a lot lower than a lot of people because it's just I've just never really been super into FromSoft games. Like they've never spoken to me, and this one I'm going back and forth on. Like at first, on those first trailers, I still like kind of don't fully understand why like that was selling you and like other non-FromSoft people, not in a bad way. It's just I'm glad it was. But like those first trailers, I was like, I don't really understand like what exactly is here that's like speaking to non-FromSoft people. When I saw the gameplay thing, I'm more like, okay, I might be full in on this. And then when I've seen more things, I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait it out. Because I really don't want to like. You know, I mean, it'd probably be like if you get it or something for PS5, I just play that. But like, I really wouldn't want to like go spend full price for this and then just to be like, oh, I'm not into it.
Okay, well, I will say this.
But if you get it on PC, that's perfect.
I'm probably gonna get it on PC.
Get it on PC.
But here's the thing, at least if I get it, you'll get impressions from a non-FromSoft fan
for sure. Yeah, that too. Yeah. Then I have Convergence League of Legends story. This is the Echo game, which I didn't even know it was like had a 2022 on.
I didn't either. I saw on the list and threw it on there because I figured you put it on your list somewhere.
Yeah. This is what like 2D platforms can be hit or miss for me, so that's why it's not like up in the top 10. But I am very excited about it, and I do.
It looks cool.
It looks very cool.
Yeah.
It looks very very cool.
That game has a very high ceiling in my mind.
For sure. Yeah. Also, Marvel Midnight Suns, like we said. Yeah, very high.
Very excited. Yeah, like, I'm with you. Like, yes, in my honorable mentions section, number 12, whatever. Heck, but we could be coming next year with our goatees and it being the top 5. I think it has that potential.
I do too. Tunic.
Yes.
Very, very, very excited for Tunic.
Yeah. Some of these games Darby has named on my list. And there's just a lot of games. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of games. I get it. Last one, my honorable mentions is the Dead Space remake, whatever.
I forgot about that one. Oh yeah.
And it was really like really close to being top 10 there. I would be a lot more excited for a new Dead Space, which I think is coming, but I am still very excited for this. I really want to see how modern.
Okay. Not Yu-Gi-Oh! Put Dead Space somewhere. Because here's the thing, like I have no like attachment to Dead Space. But,
you're gonna like Dead Space.
But Jeff in 2021 loves that shit now.
Oh yeah, you will like that game. The game's really good. Yeah, I'm just very interested.
Yeah, I put it on the list, but I was even like, oh yeah, that's what they did put. I guess they did put it for this year, huh? Or next year.
I just saw it on the list and I'm like, okay, well, and I was like, is this top 10?
Yeah.
Especially when you see what the number 10 is, it's like, this maybe would be 10, but I'm like, I don't know. All right. Back to you, Jeff. Your number 10.
Final Fantasy 16, baby.
Hey, there it is.
Yep. It's Final Fantasy, baby. We haven't seen much from it, obviously, it's just that first trailer, but I'm excited for it. I like the tone they're going for. I am curious about the gameplay because it does look very hack and slashy in a way, but not to the level that, like, it sounds like Kingdom Hearts, especially 15, are. Just, again, based on the little bit we saw. But yeah, I'm very interested in what they're doing.
Very big departure. Very, very cool. But 14 writers and stuff like that. There's a lot of interesting things going on here.
And I'm very excited to see it now because it looked very good when we saw it a year and a half ago. And again, a year and a half to work on it.
Very true. Yep. Very true. Yeah, I hope this is something special. I hope it really is. My number 10 is Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh.
I don't know where I'm at in this game. I don't fully know. It's just a lot of my gaming habits have changed a lot, and like it's just a lot of games like this I'm just not as into. But I did really like the Horizon story. I thought that like from top to bottom it was just a very, very good sci-fi story. Like I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was very strong, very solid. Like just kind of just a sci-fi thing, and the gameplay was fun and good. Nothing about this has made me like feel like gameplay wise it's going to be that much more interesting or that it's going to justify the length that it probably is, like from a gameplay perspective. I'm just like dubious about that, and nothing about the story has fully really spoken to me. But I did really like that first one, and I could see if we get closer to time. I mean, that's why I think it's in my top 10, but it's at the bottom of my top 10. I think this is the right spot for it. Yeah. Because I think if we get closer to time and I hear like really, really good things, I might be right back in there and buy it.
At least for you, there's nothing like scheduled around it that's like a must play for you. Mm-hmm. Like you're expressing interest in Elden Ring, but that seems to be more of a wait and see thing anyway.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, Horizon, it's going to be a toss-up when we get there.
And also feel free to use my PS5 to play it.
Yeah, I'm not playing on my PS4.
But yeah.
I will be playing.
You
that
know,
game on
I
the-
just want to make that clear.
Yes, and
You're welcome.
I appreciate that very much, and that is absolutely how I will be playing that game.
Yes. Well, if you were to hypothetically do that, that might get me the push I need to try out that first one.
Yeah,
If I didn't have to pay for
Very
the
good
sequel for sure.
It's a very good game.
Well, also I didn't mention for this list there are a couple like sequels for stuff I haven't played, haven't chance to play. Like probably I would have a Plague Tale in here somewhere if I had played the original one, but have not yet. But that's a potential to be very high on my end list if I get to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like another one or two like that, but yeah.
Number 9, Jeffrey.
Number 9. It's back, baby. Digimon Survive.
Hey,
Let's go.
It's probably,
Fifth year. Fourth year? Fifth year? I don't
it's
know.
probably one of its lower rankings.
I think it was roughly the same last
Was
year.
it? Okay.
Yeah. It has to take some kind of shift, you know?
I mean, no, the hype has to take some hits when it's been this long. And I understand.
But I believe it is coming soon. Or at least get some significant information for 2 reasons, Darby. One, it's been rated in multiple territories at this point, so that's usually a pretty good sign. Yeah. Second, they have announced a Digimon Worldwide Convention, Digimon Con, set for February 26th, where they're said to talk about like everything related to Digimon, including games. There are other Digimon games, they're like mobile games and shit, but I feel like again, paired with the ratings, it's time.
Yeah.
Just know, dear listeners, whenever a podcast after February 26, you're either going to get a very excited Jeff or a very sad Jeff.
Happy Jeff. We need happy Jeff.
Yes.
Come on.
Happiness could be because it comes out, or they show a trailer, it's coming out soon, and it, still the same game for what we got announced. Sad if we get nothing or it's a completely different game. Because I just really love that idea they debuted with.
No, it looks looked very, very good an eternity ago.
Yep. I still have hope for it. Believe. I do think this has been on every single one of these lists we've done.
Oh yeah. We started in 2017, I believe so.
Yeah.
But I don't think we did one of these back then. But even still, it was around then it was announced, wasn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, you name your thing and I'll look it up real quick.
My number 9. Multiverses.
Nice.
Yep. Very, very excited for this game, man.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, let's confirm this.
Sorry, June 2018 was the announced thing, so this is the 4th year.
That's a lot. Yeah, we already talked a lot about multiverses, but like especially when I just think about this year, like that has a chance with like all the different announcements that could happen, like of characters coming this year. For the first year,
It could replace Smash and or Hearts. Or get that the closest thing to get that similar kind of thing.
Like in the current, like it'll never replace in the past, but like for a current thing to like look for, to look forward to characters. I could see multiverses having a crazy year, and by the end we're just like, this was like the crazy ass crossovers. Fucking LeBron James is up here fighting Bugs Bunny. What the? Oh wait, that's not even. That's crazy.
Yeah.
LeBron James fighting
Arya.
Gandalf.
Yeah, fighting Gandalf.
Arya.
Fighting Rick Sanchez.
So yeah, I'm very excited, but I mean it is a little bit lower just because of some of the trepidation. But I think this feels right. Yeah, 9 feels right to me.
Number 8, Splatoon 3, baby. Let's go. Very excited for it. I never played the multiplayer as much as I want to play for these games, which is unfortunate. I think it's because I'm usually don't play multiplayer shit unless I have friends to deal with. Even then,
even then,
even then. But it looks like they're going even more in with a single player, and after that, utterly fantastic Octoling DLC they did with Splatoon 2. I have all the faith in the world that they're going to, this will be the best mainline campaign for this thing, and I'm just generally excited. Again, like I don't play the multiplayer very long, but I still play it for at least a little bit. Have a good time, and Splatoon's just very fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And for some reason, it makes gamers mad, so that's a bonus.
Why? It's just cute squid kids. And it's also surprisingly dark. Everyone loves like happy things that are surprisingly dark, or at least I do. Number 8. Goodbye Volcano High.
I knew this would be on your list.
Yep. I've just been very into every trailer we've seen. I follow the creators on Twitter. I'm sorry, my hiccups are back, so I super apologize. And I'm just really excited for these games. Like this game, the devs seem like just super stoked to be making this game. It's just kind of jolly vibes all around. It has the teenage angst that I can be a super big sucker for, and I know you can at times too.
Of course.
And the like, I don't know, I love the character designs. The fact of like, it's I'm so interested to know what's going on because it's like this whole like high school drama thing of like anthropomorphized dinosaurs, and it's like, okay, that's cute, whatever. And then it's like the comic, like the meteors coming up. Like, oh fuck, oh no, what does that mean? Oh no.
Yeah, again, it's definitely a game that's not on my list, but I will probably end up playing unless reviews come out and it just sounds bad. Which again, I don't think it will, but yeah. Definitely be like, okay, I need one of these teen egg things at least once a year.
Yeah, I don't know why this one's speaking to me just a lot.
Alrighty, my number 7, Multiverses.
Hey,
Yeah, kind of like Darius saying, I think this has a whole lot of upside to this game, and the closest thing we can maybe get to that Smash Bros. Magic with the crazy character announcements and the stuff. Even though we got stuff like Nick All-Stars and Framemakers coming out, just WB's catalog and the fact they're going through the whole thing.
Yes.
And potentially saying they might go outside WB. Fingers crossed they go crazy and get Jotaro. Derby, LeBron against Jotaro. Come on. The anime fight of the century.
We've all been waiting.
Yeah. Or LeBron against Dio.
There we go. We've all been waiting.
Yep.
My number 6.
Wait, it was number 7?
My number 7.
Okay. Say I've gone first.
Fuck my number 7.
Fuck 7.
Fuck Final Fantasy 16. We don't need it. Get out of
True.
here.
Fuck Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 16 is my number 7. Obviously, it's Final Fantasy, so I'm just like going to be excited no matter what.
Base them out.
Even if they hurt me, which they have in the past. And it's interesting that we're all like, oh yeah, of course, Final Fantasy, I'm getting in. Neither of us played 15. Neither of us played literally the last numbered game in this, so it's like...
Last 2.
Yeah.
Or we'll play some 14. But have we really...
Some. And
30 hours did we really play? Or I played 30 hours.
And I know neither of us played all 3 of Final Fantasy 13, so did we actually play...
Hey, I played 2 of them, okay?
We did.
I didn't play Lightning Returns.
So, fake fan. Is what I'm saying.
True.
So this is not a slam dunk. It's not like I have been kind of out of the modern Final Fantasy overall, and I think you have been too. I mean, I think
7 remake, but yeah. Besides that,
I'm saying overall, I think there's been more misses than hits as far as like we have been less into Final Fantasy, the main games or whatever, like the RPG games or whatever, than like the last ones we 7 remake obviously, but then before that it's like 12 was the last one that it's like I'm really pumped about. I think 13 is a lot better than people say, but it's still not a great game, Like, so it's been a minute since they've had something I really care about, and I thought 15 was not that good. I really don't think 15 is that good of a game, in my opinion. I think 16 has some things that are like definitely going for it. The 14 writers I'm very excited about. I think it visually looks stunning, and the world I'm interested in, not completely sold. It seems like it definitely still could be very generic at times, like the writing and stuff. It's like kind of up in the air. The setting and everything else is kind of up in the air of how I feel about it, but it has some upside to it. The combat, I am just really gonna have to see. I'm really, really gonna have to see if it is straight up DMC Devil May Cry and there's like just actiony and there's just nothing else to it. I'm gonna be a little bummed. I'm hoping for some type of 7 remake type of like we're going to blend styles here. We're gonna even if it's not blending styles, it's just gonna be something different. It's gonna be like 7 remake was something we hadn't really played before. I'm hoping 16 is either a blend of like the RPG, not necessarily turn-based, but just like the Final Fantasy combat blend with an action thing, or it's just something completely different. I just don't want to get in there and just feel like it's just hack and slash combos. That's just what I don't want it to.
Well, the good news for you, at least as far as trying it or seeing it / trying it out before the game comes out, if the last couple games are any indication, we should get a demo.
I hope, that would be nice. That would be
because I think all the last couple Final Fantasy games have had them.
Yes. So I'm excited, but that's why it's not necessarily at the very near the very top.
Number 6, Elden Ring.
Ooh,
The Ring of the Eldens.
did it?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm excited. I can't put words on it or anything. Just whatever reason.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Stuff is just hidden for me. Just kind of the open worldness of it just seems really cool combined with the combat and just suddenly stumbling, even more stumbling onto these potentially epic and difficult boss battles and all that. And just kind of even little stuff like being able to summon those spirits or whatever to help you and all that. That sounds very fun and kind of different compared to the other FromSoft games.
Yeah.
And yeah. And that George R. Martin, that's what really got me.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
He wrote words.
He did write words. Probably too many words.
Yep.
Those words. I wish those words were going into a different property.
You're right. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Sorry, that's D&D. It'd be funny if George wrote the Star Wars gig and after D&D failed.
That'd be really funny.
All right, Dario, number 6.
Number 6, Oxenfree 2.
Let's go, BB. Yeah, Oxenfree 2, one of the other ones that were like, yeah, I got the prequel. Need to play that before I even think about the sequel.
Yeah, for sure. And
I like had half a dozen of those now. I need to get through this.
At least Oxenfree's short.
Yeah. Luckily, the first part of the year is a little light for the first couple months, so I should be able to make it through a couple of those.
Yeah, I think Oxenfree would be a good one. You knock that out in like a night or two.
Yeah.
I think I beat it in one sitting with Jenny. Yeah.
So I'm beating half a sitting.
Yeah. You just one butt cheek, for like 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then I beat it, and then I just beat another game in the same sitting.
Yep. I'm very excited because like Oxenfree is one of those just like vibe-wise is just one of my favorite games as far as like just that island, the setting, the sound design, and like music is just like so damn good, and like that game is special. And I've played a lot of like puzzle-y games. Like it's a puzzle game / narrative game, mostly narrative, and just the way they did ambience and stuff, and like that game really made you think like, I have no clue what the fuck's gonna happen. Like anything could fucking happen in this game, even though it's not necessarily like a grotesque game or anything like that. But it handles the vibe and everything, and like the spooky, like the kind of eerie sci-fi spookiness of it, like super duper well. And lots of really really cool narrative stuff going on. And I have no fucking clue what 2 is gonna be exactly. I really don't know. Which is exciting, very exciting to me. And I never played After Party. I know people didn't really like it that much, but like After Party was definitely a very different type of tone. I mean, like hopefully this will be nice for them to just come back to this. That makes sense.
But how do you feel about the Netflix integration into the game?
What?
Remember, or did you see the studio got bought by Netflix?
Yes, right. I don't expect it to interfere with this game at all.
Sorry, and then the funny joke question. But no, I understand. Like, I'm very interested in, obviously, this game Oxenfree has been on my list forever. So
yeah,
I
honestly expect you to probably play Oxenfree and then Oxenfree 2 at some point this year, and for this to be on your end of the year list. That's my prediction. Because
prediction.
This is Jeff bait. I mean, you would really like this game.
Yeah, I'm excited. Again, that was one of the other ones I was thinking about when we were playing. I was like, I know there's sequels I'll probably love, but yeah, need to play the first game first. Speaking of sequels, but when I played the previous game of AI the Somnia Files, Nirvana Initiative is my number 5, baby.
Yeah, top 5.
Give me that anime craziness.
Give the man the anime craziness.
Well, it was kind of like you saying about like who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. Keeping you guessing and all that kind of. So the first one did this, and honestly, unless I'm forgetting something, everything was pretty tied up. So like most questions were answered. This is kind of a fresh slate kind of thing.
Yeah, you were pretty shocked that we were even getting this.
I did not see this coming because I didn't think it had sold enough to do it or anything like that. Yeah, and the story was pretty much done. So I'm excited and see what's the hell they're going to do with this game.
Hell yeah!
Because they revealed a little bit of it, and they revealed the cover art for it, which kind of gives us the most details and raises more questions. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one, and the fact that we're supposed to get in the first half of the year gets me. makes me very excited. Day one, baby.
Hell yeah. My number 5, and this is one that has probably the biggest chance of being way below where it is now by the end of it. But right now, it's Forspoken.
Okay.
I'm really, really excited for Forspoken. I mean, there's something about like I can get into some Square RPG, stuff on both sides, the Western and the yeah, Eastern and Western. I'm sorry, I'm dying over here. And this like has a lot of things that I like about that, and the visuals I think look like a big step up from a lot of their Square games. And then like I just think this isekai thing, this like normal girl from New York in this basically Final Fantasy land, is a very kind of refreshing take on this. We've seen a lot of very generic looking basic fantasy things.
I just need to say something. That's the first time I heard someone say refreshing isekai in the first sentence, and I kind of agree. As an anime fan,
we come a long way. We can, I don't know. And yeah, maybe part of it is I don't watch anime, so I have not seen most of these things.
Isekai can be done well, but the anime and isekai anime is a whole other thing.
Yeah. This is not anime, this is a game, so luckily this is not overrun yet here, so it's like, yeah. And like, I don't know, I'm just like, I feel like this is, like, even with the same visuals, I feel like I would be a lot less interested in this overall if it did play it straight, because like, I don't know, you just like, especially Square can get kind of mundane with some of this shit, some of these type of games can kind of blend together. So this one just kind of like jumps out to me, and I'm immediately like, I'm really into her in all the lines that we've seen. Like she seems really funny and charming to me, and definitely like I think believably a teenager. It's like, she's like I don't think it's really that cringy at all. I think seems like a cool character. So like obviously this definitely has a chance of being bad, but there's so many levels I'm interested in. Also the amount of different magic spells and the fact that it's like they made a point to be like, you're not a like sword fighter person, you are a magic user, and
you're
like,
only doing magic.
Right, which I think that makes it another more unique thing that you have to build your thing around these different spells and magic things and what they do, and less of like I'm just like
kind of going back what you were saying about the isekai thing, maybe different. I'm not sure how this stuff works. I don't think they've gone into it, but something to add into it that is kind of a fun little thing is we know that she can customize her nail polish in those design there, and that will have some things, so that's kind of cool in the sense that this is the normal modern day girl into the magical realm, and apparently her fingernail designs will influence shit.
Hell yeah, dude, love that shit.
Pre-order for special nail polish. That is a thing. And I didn't mention this before, but I'm very curious about Square. Must seem to have some faith in that this will do well, and not just kind of like some of the stuff where they're just kind of pushing it out. Since they've already announced DLC for the end of next year, like prequel DLC.
Nice.
So we liked. So really immediately, if you go into it and you like it, just like, okay, I'm not sure what the prequel DLC is gonna be based around, but like we know that it looks like they're probably gonna play in a future for this as well.
Well, if it helps its prestige, and now gets to be in Darby's top 5 most anticipated for 2022. So I think that's gonna help it out a lot.
I'll tweet it to Gary with us. Boy, ignore the fact I put it in 19.
I know, yeah.
Don't tell him I put it under Sonic. It's whatever you feel.
Oh, no. Jeff, we were so close, but you're going to keep us. I was a little surprised 19 did seem like very low.
Yeah, I expected higher, but then I just made my list, and it's like...
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. A lot of games. Number 4. Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope.
Forgot about that one, yep.
Hell yeah, baby! Yep. It's a lot of Nintendo games this year, which makes me happy. A lot of ones I'm very excited about. Yeah, I am very excited for this game. The first Mario plus Rabbids was a very big surprise in how good it was, and it's just definitely one of those games where I kept on telling myself, like, okay, it's really great and everything, but there's so much potential for a sequel for this. And based on that trailer we saw, it looks like they're taking the step forward. It's like I'm there's some sequels like like maybe some we're going to talk about later. Will this be better than the first one? This is one like I feel pretty good it's going to be better than the original. Like they're going to like just basically we saw they're going to add enough to do it. They know what worked like from the first game, and they are going to improve on that stuff and improve on the design, like just the overworld map and all that kind of stuff. Just how more dynamic and interesting all that kind of stuff looks. And I like it to like from a gameplay perspective. They'll keep it. Make it different is that it seems the returning characters, most of them are returning, but not all of them, but a lot of the characters are returning. They all seem to have different weapons as well. So that will change strategy. So the strategy they had for like Mario and Luigi and stuff may not carry over to this game, which is cool. And then you have like Rabid Rosalina, who looks like he's going to be a breakout character. Looks fun and all that. So,
I agree on all accounts.
Everyone play Kingdom Battle 1 if you haven't yet. I keep on seeing on sale for like $10. Really good.
Yeah. Yep. Hell yeah. My number 4, Baldur's Gate 3. Hell yeah. Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the best RPGs of all time, hands down. And this is the studio that made it.
And?
So it's number 4.
Not number 1.
I have no history with Baldur's Gate. I hear it's very good, so that's cool. But it's mostly this is Larian Studios, and this basically just seems like a sequel to Divinity Original Sin 2 because the gameplay just seems like that plus stuff. And the dynamics of like your party members. It seems like Divinity Original Sin 2 has a lot of customization, but this seems like it has like even more because like you basically had like 6 something like that party members that you could have in Divinity Original Sin, and you could choose any combination of them you wanted or whatever, and that was your party. And it's very much like Divinity is like and Baldur's Gate are both like basically D&D but in a game, and it's basically like you're running a D&D campaign so it's like turn-based in a grid, not even a grid, it's just the open movement or whatever, but turn-based, and there's like spell effects and all these other things. And just really crazy chaotic things you can do in battle. There's so much you can do. But like Baldur's Gate has all of that, plus like I think there's so many more characters that you can have in your party, and like it just seems even more open than the Divinity was. And I really highly recommend. I mean, I know it's a fucking 100-hour game, and that's a lot, but like that was one of the most rewarding RPG experiences I've ever had in my entire life, and like probably will ever have, because just the level of freedom that it gives you in battle and in story and everything is just ridiculous. It's absurd. And Divinity is like one of those games that makes like trying to enjoy Fire Emblem Three Houses like near impossible, because it's just like it's just so much better when it comes to like a strategy and thinking out things and stuff like that. So like if I get to do that again, I'm super excited. So it's kind of simple as that. I'm just super duper excited for that game. Like I'm contemplating putting it at number 3. I think it could be over my number 3 game, but we'll see.
Think I know what your top 3 are? I know 2 of them for sure. I'm thinking.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah. Probably do this one.
Number 3, Pokemon Let's Darkseus, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, video people look at these Pokemon plushes. Come on, they're all mine. We all know it. Obviously, big Pokemon fan. This being the biggest departure for a mainline game just inherently has me excited. I like what they're doing for it. Obviously, you can kind of go into, nitpick or whatever, the way the graphics look and all that kind of stuff. There's stuff they could have done to improve, but no, Jeff, we're talking about hype. We're talking about hype right now. All right. But I kind of like how based on the gameplay we saw, it looks more like how you would expect, real life Pokemon or whatever it would be. The fact you're running around and everything, there's no battle transition. You can cool. I'm surprised people are so negative on this. The fact that you can sneak up on Pokemon and catch them without even battling them. I've seen some people have a problem with that. I don't get. I think that's cool. That you can sneak up and do it, and I think it makes sense, especially doing that for weaker Pokemon and all that. Yeah. And just being able to release a Pokemon anywhere, and the fact that your trainer can dodge and can take damage and all that kind of stuff.
Dodge rolls and Pokemon. What's going on?
And even though this isn't necessarily the Breath of the Wild Pokemon game we were thinking or hoping it'd be, it seems to take more inspiration maybe from Monster Hunter World/Rise. But it's still, I think, a step in a very cool direction and maybe a right direction to reach the kind of potential that I've always said Pokemon has that they never really tried to do. But it seems they are here. So, obviously, day one buy, no questions asked. I'm glad I don't have to be that person that before Elden Ring was delayed, I buy Pokemon. Everyone's like, Elden Ring. I'm like, I caught a Bidoof.
I caught the Destroyer of Worlds, the one true god.
Yep.
No, I'm so excited for you. I really hope that it turns out everything.
And I will look to see if it's Nuzlockable. I don't think it is because some of the missions involve catching multiple of one Pokemon. But
we just have to kill all of them.
True. We're gonna slaughter so many Bidoof. I gotta do that when I grind anyway. I've killed lots of Bidoofs. My number 3.
Somerville.
Yep.
Way too low, Jeff. Way too low on your list. Did you forget how fucking good Inside is? I know that it's not Playdead, but it's some of the people from Playdead. And it looks like vibe-wise a lot like Inside. And Inside's one of the best games ever fucking made. It's like probably the only game that I would call perfect. Like there's just literally nothing wrong.
Hey, Dar, you mentioned hype,
Yeah.
And there's a very good chance this Somerville is higher up than the vast majority of these games.
Yeah. I don't want to turn this into. I was just shocked. I was like, oh.
I hope it made more sense once I read off my list at least a little bit.
It does. But and this is one again that like I don't think this is a slam dunk just because Inside was great doesn't mean this is whatever, and it's gonna be very different. I'm not trying to say this is like Inside 2, but like that style of game or whatever, like Playdead's very, very good at what they're doing. This like is very much going down that road. It up here, so
must protect dog.
And just like even throwing all the Playdead Inside out of it, I think the 2 times we've seen this game, it looks great. I mean, like the art style, I love. I don't know what the hell's going on. Just like and I'm so interested to see, and I just feel like this game has like crazy bonkers upside. And I'm really excited about it. I think it just looks really interesting. I'm so just interested to see how it plays and just what happens.
Can't remember something. Let me see. Something very important, Darby.
And I expect it to be like not overstay its welcome. I expect it to be a very cool, unique, creative experience that's kind of in and out, and then just leaves me staring at the TV like, what? What just happened?
And Darby, very important. On Game Pass, incredible value.
I mean, what did we say? What was on it earlier? Oh, One Piece Pirate Warrior. I mean, it's just, the Game Pass finally did it.
It finally got the incredible value. The meme is true.
All right, we have the same 2 and 1. Is it the same order? I think it probably is.
Number 2, God of War Ragnarok.
God of War Ragnarok. Number 1.
Yeah,
God of War.
God of War. Yeah, I think I had this last year, like my number 5 or 6, if I remember correctly.
I wasn't thinking about this being spanning the 2 years.
Yeah, let's see.
Read us off what you had over it. I'm just interested.
Last year?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah. Okay, I had number 5. I had Tales of Arise.
Okay.
Nier Replicant. Ratchet and Clank. And Psychonauts 2.
Interesting. I mean, I probably had like.
So the big part of it is to make a difference between last year and this year is I didn't believe it was coming out 2021. Neither of us did.
No,
we actually didn't see shit, but now we've seen it, and I can believe it's coming out this year.
Yeah, I think back then it was probably like, again, we're talking about anticipated. It's like we hadn't even seen the damn game. But
I can't remember the exact wording, but I'm pretty sure we had that conversation. It was like, this seems low for it, but I don't actually believe it's coming out.
Yeah. And it's like it's hard to be super excited about something we haven't even seen. Yeah. But now we have seen it, and it looks very, very good.
Yes.
And this is another one. Crazy upside. I also think it has crazy shoes to fill. I mean, it has a crazy job ahead of it. Like the expectations are going to begin up here, where it's the God of War reboot was kind of a surprise of like, oh shit, I care about God of War now, which is like, what you and like even me, I never cared about the God of War story. Now I'm like, I'm crying because over a God of War story. So like, it kind of had that element of like, oh shit, this was a surprise. Now it's like, okay, you did it one. Now it's like starting up here. Yeah. So like, I there's like worry about is the story going to like live up to how good the beginning of it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will.
Yeah, I think I have faith in them, and I think it'd be interesting, and maybe gets me more hyped the fact that I think Cory Barlog said, "Oh, this is the end of the."
Yeah, I'm happy
about this storyline, which makes sense because your mindset goes, "Oh, trilogy," but it's also like games take forever to make now, so I can understand them wanting it to do 2 and go.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's cool. I wish more things would do. Not everything needs to be drawn out like that. And it's just like when you think about I'm not worried about them not having cool things to show us. We literally haven't even seen Asgard yet. There's plenty of things.
And that's a very cool thing. Like, I think that's one of the cool things about God of War 1, where it was a full, complete game and everything. It told its story and it was great, but it did a fantastic job of setting up all this shit to get you excited for the sequel. But again, while also being very satisfying as own thing.
I mean, you think about how many stories and how much we know about this world's Odin. We hadn't even seen him. Yeah. We hadn't even seen Odin, and we saw Thor once. That's crazy. But we've heard from Mimir's stories and just the lore of the world. You hear so much building up to it, and I think that makes it even stronger because like we had to go to all this time after God of War of just the legends of Odin that we haven't even seen him. I think that makes the world cooler, and I kind of like the smaller scope of what the first God of War story was. It was like, we're just trying to get to the top of this mountain, basically.
And you already mentioned like Asgard and stuff, and on all the other realms, it's like, well, we saw the thing how we teleport them, and we could kind of see them, but they didn't let us go to a couple of them.
Right.
And they've said since then like, oh yes, you're going to go to all the other ones, as well as going to different places within the ones you've already visited.
Right.
Because some of them are very small.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you could go back there and, completely different area with them.
Yeah, and I'm bad with the names of the place, but the first area you go to, we see in the trailer, like, it's frozen over. So that whole lake you put the boat on, you can walk across now. Right. And you can, like, get a sled and just go for it.
Yeah. And then, like, gameplay wise, I hope it doesn't get stale, but, like, even within that game, like, the game, like... Spoilers, will ever play God of War. Whenever you get the Blades of Chaos, I feel like it opens up combat so much, even within that one game. So I have faith that they're going to be able to like keep that ramp up. Do cool stuff. And it's just going to be nice to feel the fucking Leviathan axe again because it's one of the most satisfying weapons in all of gaming.
Yep.
I'm stoked out of my mind.
Oh, yeah.
So excited.
It's going to be great.
And any other normal year, it would be number 1.
Yeah.
But there's a special little game that makes that a little difficult.
Yep. The Untitled Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild
Untitled
sequel.
Goose Game.
Yeah. Yep. That game Darby and I did not like as much.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild 2, baby. Talk again, same thing as God of War. Expectations through the roof. They're in the stratosphere. Like, this game's gonna disappoint some people. Faux show. I think I have an open mind. I don't think I will be one of those people, but it's. I expected this to be a contract.
I'm gonna be surprised of one of those people that are disappointed by it.
But I mean, I'm right. I mean, that's for sure. I think it's going to. I mean, the first Legend of Zelda is a controversial game. I mean, it's just it changed a lot.
Well, I don't think as far as like disappointing people, I think I'm just going to assume you have the same mindset as I do. It doesn't need to be as good or better as the original Breath of the Wild in our minds to not be a disappointment.
Right.
That's going to be some people's mindsets, and that's how you set yourself for disappointment.
I think Breath of the Wild was one of the best games of all time. I honestly expect this to not be as good as Breath of the Wild. And I think like some of that is just Breath of the Wild was like, I think Breath of the Wild is the perfect version of itself, and it was such a great step for this. And this is going to copy some of that and try to be like another version of that, which it should. But I also think that like some of these tricks are going to already have been done before, and they're going to have variations on it. I don't expect to like this game as much as Breath of the Wild, and that is okay because I legit think that is one of the best games of all time. And Yeah, it's I'm not articulating myself a whole lot here.
Well, as far as like a fear before, between the the first trailer and the gameplay trailer or whatever the other trailer we got this past summer was, okay, how are they going to do it to make it different? Well, I'm glad in this trailer, even though it's short and it still leaves some mystery, they have more stuff to reveal and stuff that we'll find out in the game. They show how it's different. Okay, we got all these cool, interesting abilities. Fucking sky islands and shit. You're skydiving and all that. And yeah, again, like the abilities where you can turn back time on some shit. You can like phase through shit like as a water drop, wherever the fuck that was.
Right.
So it looks like kind of like with God of War. It's like, okay, yeah, they're going off the first one. Bunch of new shit, but just obviously they're different games, so the way it's done is different.
It's going to be familiar but twisted. Yeah, I mean, kind of like Majora's Mask was. I mean, Majora's Mask like built off of you are familiar with this world and this map and everything, but now we're going to play with the fact that you're familiar with it and like change things and like change how you interact with it, change what the goal is, and it kind of makes it a different experience.
I honestly think, I know COVID has something to do with it, so it probably would have been out sooner, but I honestly do think, I believe in the Zelda team, that once we play it, because there's been a thing like, why is it taking so long? We play, it's like, okay, this is why it took so long. It's because we kind of had the mindset, oh, this should be out pretty snappy because it's probably going to use mostly same assets and stuff. They'll do some different mechanics and stuff, and yeah, that'll be that. I can see it be like, oh, this is like very different.
yeah.
The Hyrule map is like nothing similar.
I did
5 years.
It's crazy.
Which is normal for a Zelda thing, but this is also like, but kind of besides Majora's Mask, the first like really direct sequel for the big Zelda thing. We had like the little DS like Toon Link-ish games that are kind of sequels.
I mean, I guess. I mean, Majora's Mask kind of was. I don't know about story.
No, I was saying like kind of Majora's Mask.
Yeah, but I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just I think the team that had the creativity to make Breath of the Wild and just the I don't know how. I mean, I know a lot of people would scoff at it, but I legitimately think so many things in that game, the physics and just how you interact with the world, how you discover things was revolutionary to me. I mean, that was they did it in a way that no other game has fully done that for me.
Darby, you got to remember, since its release, it's been a couple months. So probably a video will pop up soon. I feel like every couple months we got something. So I discovered this in Breath of the Wild, and we're
yeah,
what? And that was 3 or 4 years later.
I mean, and this is part of my problem. This is part of my broader problem with and I hate to do this to them, but this is part of my problem with Horizon. And there's a lot of games like this where it's harder, a lot of them, and they're trying to do something else. I don't think Breath of the Wild's story was necessarily the greatest thing ever. It also wasn't trying to be. It was it was very story-like. But and so there's other games that focus on story, which is great and everything. But I think about running around the world in Horizon, or even running around the world in Witcher and everything. The world does not feel interactable, nearly in the same way. You run into the video game roadblocks of I want to do this thing, but I'm playing a video game, so I can't really do this or whatever. It's or I need color within the lines and everything. Breath of the Wild, I never felt that barrier ever. And I've never had another game where it's just I wonder if this works. I'm just gonna try this random bullshit. Oh fuck, it works. Lightning with metal, and you can pick up something, throw it at them, do weird physics things. I definitely beat some of those shrines in a way you were absolutely not supposed to beat it. But it's hey, you can make it work. The game just felt like a sandbox and felt like toys. In the best possible way.
It's I mean, obviously there were some things outside the map, but literally anything that's in the obvious map is you see is oh, I can get there some way, somehow.
Right.
I can go to that spot and something will probably be there.
Yeah, you can get there or interact with everything or just very random weird things like lightning striking metal and stuff like that. It's just this in this very random weird circumstance. But then it's oh, okay, that's something that hurts me. You can also use it to hurt someone else. You can also lift up your sword or something. It's just the game's just great.
Chainsaw blade with the magnetism while lightning strikes it.
Oh, good. Yeah, that game lives up to the hype for me.
Yeah,
it's hyped up and it deserves every last bit of hype it gets.
Yep. Now where's Odyssey 2?
So where's Odyssey 2? Because that's another game that's a game that doesn't get enough hype.
It's true.
Let's be real. I don't get enough hype.
True.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our most anticipated 2022 releases. Hot damn. So
definitely first time our top game has obviously been the same. Considering every time we do this, because it's only been Psychonauts and Kingdom Hearts for me at this point.
That makes it a little harder. Yeah. Well, top two were the same. That's so strong. A lot of our game of the year lists have been the same by the time we get to the top. Like the 2018, I know we had Red Dead Redemption, and like there were some of them, but yeah. And this last Breath of the Wild was both of our. No, Odyssey was your game of the year, so no.
That was the one or twos.
They're interchangeable, depending on the day. Yeah. All right, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back later. We will be doing the Game Awards results soon, maybe with Jacob and Will, or it might just be me and Jeff. We'll figure it out. But until next time, peace.
Bye.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Happy Holidays, New Year's. Bye.